Believing your ex is the one, that no one else can love you in that same way, is not healthy love. It's an attachment wound that started in childhood. And that is what's feeding your scarcity around your ex and making you try to get them back. Now, when you break up with the one, your body is going through a withdrawal process, right? Withdrawal that can be as serious as withdrawing from drugs. But the problem is that experience makes you think that that person must have been the one, and that feeds this fairy tale narrative even more, and you can just end up in this spiral. So today I'm going to teach you the 3 steps to get out of this spiral so that you can start receiving healthy love. And make sure you stick around till the end of the lesson, because I'm going to show you how to unblock the energy that keeps you attracting unhealthy partners and unhealthy relationship dynamics. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Amy, and I work with women that struggle with insecurity and anxiety, and they struggle with really knowing their self-worth. And I work with them to uncover and reconnect to their true, authentic sense of self so that they can create a relationship that is truly worthy of them. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button so you get those notifications, because I am posting lessons like this every week. Now, before we begin, I want to let you know that my calendar has just opened up for a few more spots for a free strategy call with me and my team for the Love by Design program. And if you want to know more about how to apply for that, stick around to the end of the lesson. Before we dive into the steps, let's look into this the one fantasy. Now, your ex is by definition not the one, because they are your ex. Regardless of how it went down, who broke up with who, rejection is completely normal, but them choosing to not be in your life, to not show up for you, automatically defines them that they are not going to be there for you. They are not going to be able to provide healthy love for you. That if you have this narrative that they are the one, that you've kind of latched onto them, that is the sign that within you there is an attachment wound. Now, this attachment wound comes from our subconscious. It's operating subconsciously, so this might be new for you, but it comes from this feeling that when we were growing up as children, we learned what love was through our environment, through our family, and how our primary caregivers showed up for us. It creates a blueprint within us that then as adults, we seek out that same familiarity. And they might be familiar feelings or familiar circumstances that love occurs. But when we attach in this way that we kind of narrow in on them, there's a sign that you're seeking familiarity out and that you have a wound that needs to be looked at. Now, it's great if our attachment blueprint is secure and we learned what healthy, available love was like when we were children. But for 50% of us, that isn't the case. We grew up knowing that there was scarcity around love and that we had to chase love, or that we weren't worthy of love. Perhaps you had an alcoholic in your family, or you were abandoned by a caregiver, they left, perhaps there was a divorce. If any of those were the case, and even if it was just as subtle as, one parent being a little less available for you than what you needed, you grew up believing that love needed to be chased, it needed to be pursued, because you inherently, as you are right now, aren't worthy of it. And that's why then as adults, we can end up believing that this person who might be an alcoholic, but you truly see the worth in them because you can see how beautiful they are and you can see their potential for healing. If that was what kept you safe as a child, where you had a primary caregiver who was an alcoholic, you are just playing out the same story, that same safety mechanism that you created as a child in your adult relationship. Now, it worked so well. It's such an intelligent design that we have, our attachment mechanism, but it keeps us from receiving healthy love when we're in our adult relationships. And because what's underneath that wound is a core belief that we're not worthy of love, this whole act of believing that there is the one and we need to pursue love actually stops us from receiving love, and it stops us from being known who we truly are. It acts as a bit of a buffer and a barrier, because it is vulnerable and scary to open up yourself and be potentially rejected by someone. So that safety mechanism acted like cotton wool around that little core belief that you're not worthy of love. And you're playing it out in this fantasy of the one and I must pursue them. And love is all about how I can chase them and what mask I can put on in order to get love. So the first step that you're going to do to really detach from your ex, to really heal this wound, and to stop thinking that there is only one person that can fulfill your needs. Because, spoiler alert, there are many people that can meet your needs and are willing to offer you healthy love. You need to be aware of where you're craving familiarity around your ex and around your life in general. So this old blueprint of love that you had, if you want to dive more into why that blueprint keeps attracting unavailable love, I want you to watch this video next. But for the purpose of this video, get really clear on how you're self-abandoning right now. Where you're craving in your life. So obviously when you're pursuing your ex, a person that is no longer wanting to be in relationship with you, that is a big act of self-abandonment, but your craving is going to be playing out in other ways. And this is where you deny your connection with yourself and you're dissociating from your bodily experience and your present in order to live in that fantasy of they're the one and I need to get them back. Now, it feels like a bit of an internal split, but you might not be aware of it if you've been in pursuing mode for so long. So I want you to know that when we do this pursuing of love and we're constantly craving and acting from this place, we are effectively shaming ourselves. We are not allowing ourselves to have this experience and allowing ourselves to feel, worthy just as we are, single and alone or lonely, whatever that experience is. And we're not able to sit with the uncomfortable feelings that arise with it as well. So as long as you're shaming yourself and putting someone else on a pedestal, which is what you're now doing with your ex in thinking that they're the one, you are keeping this split in play and you are not allowing yourself to be integrated and healed. So get really clear on how you're self-abandoning right now before you can even begin to rewire it. It might be through craving food, sex, alcohol, drugs, and you might be fantasizing excessively about your ex, or you might be just watching a whole lot of television and not living in the present. Anywhere where you're not allowing your body to have that experience, you will be in that state. Now, I want quickly to mention that if you've just broken up from your ex, you're going through a grieving period at the moment, you're going through withdrawal, there is a certain amount of disassociation that can be healthy to allow the body to have that time and experience to heal. So don't be too hard on yourself, but do be smart on yourself and get clear on what your tendencies and habits are. And then once you're clear and aware on that, I want you to consider introducing what I call a pattern interrupter into your life. And that's where once you are aware that you've started to self-abandon, you get to snap yourself out of it. Now, I know some people wear a rubber band on their wrist. Some people have a mantra that they recite or they do tapping, whatever modality that helps you as a pattern interrupter to get out of that energy. You might even just go outside and breathe in three deep breaths as soon as you catch yourself into that craving mode. Now, you won't be able to do it all the time. You will go back into craving, but this is a gradual process of bringing yourself out of this self-abandonment state and bringing you back into the body's experience and widening your window of tolerance for uncomfortable feelings and emotions. Now, I'd love to hear in the comments below how this lesson is landing for you. Does any of this make sense around, how you self-abandon when you're constantly trying to get back your ex? And that narrative around that fairy tale, does that land for you? I'd love to hear from you. The second step you're going to do is gradually repair your connection with yourself. Now that you've become aware of how you're self-abandoning, we're actually going to focus on coming into alignment internally. So again, we need to allow the withdrawal and grief process to happen if, in the last 6 to 12 months, you've just left a long-term relationship or it's still very raw for you. But very gradually, I want you to become aware of the stories and narratives you have internally around your own unworthiness. Because like I said previously, we've been putting someone else on a pedestal, and this step is all about putting ourselves on a pedestal. Okay, so we want to look at the energy within us that runs, that we practice, that isn't contributing to us placing ourselves first. So in the repair process, this is a commitment, this is a discipline. You need to commit to daily acts of self-connection, however you connect with yourself, whether that's breathing every morning or meditation, or just giving yourself, putting a timer on your phone every 20 minutes for you then just to sit and notice how you feel. You might not be that connected with your feelings at the moment, so you want to perhaps print out a list of all the different rainbows of feelings that we can experience and start learning the different nuances between emotions and seeing whether they're coming up, and just being able to label what your emotional experience is from a cognitive perspective. Knowing yourself intimately is a skill. It's a language, right? If you haven't been taught how to do this, how to speak the language of you from an early age, it's going to be like you're learning how to speak French for the first time. You're going to really suck at it, okay? So we are learning about our own internal environment, and previously we've been completely abandoning ourselves. So you are a beginner, go slowly. But it's really, there's a really great way to kind of supercharge this practice, and that is to get really close with what I call your inner child. And this is the deepest part of who you are. This is the part of you that holds all of the emotions and all the memories that you've been repressing and suppressing for this whole time. And if you want a video on how to start practicing inner child work, this is the video for you. Another aspect of repairing your connection with yourself is allowing you to really acknowledge the reality of your situation with your ex. When we put someone on a pedestal, we don't want to see that actions that they performed that were so hurtful. We want to deny that. We want to make excuses for them, and it's time to stop that now. You need to really get clear on how they didn't show up for you and be as specific as possible. Collect the data, write down all the ways, all the things they did, all the things they said, collect all that data and evidence to show yourself, to prove to yourself that this person is not right for you. And then the third step, you are going to step into abundance. Now, scarcity has been rife up until this point because the one fairy tale is telling us that our ex is the only person that can give us healthy love. And from a bodily level, we don't believe that yet. We are just repairing our connection to ourselves, but we want to start flooding ourselves with available, healthy love. And at the moment in your life, find out where healthy love is right now. It might come from a pet, or it might come from a friend. Some of my greatest friendships have been forged through breakups because, it was a chance to really crack open and realize there are people that are so willing to love you just as you are without you having to, be someone different or put a mask on. You might get that from your family if you're lucky. You might get that from nature if you have a strong connection to that. So widen your ability to receive love as you are right now without having to do anything is really important, because deeper, the belief that we want to rewire into our body to give us that sense of abundance is that the absolute truth is that you, from day one, the day you were born, were worthy of healthy, available love, right? And because you had that experience with your family where there was some scarcity around love, you've internalized that and personalized that, thinking that was a reflection on you, which it isn't. You are, by default, worthy of healthy, available love. So feeling that and allowing yourself to step into that is key to stepping into abundance. Now, this scarcity energy that you've had within you has truly what has blocked you from attracting healthy partners and receiving healthy love. And if that is a pattern of yours, constantly attracting emotionally unavailable men, I want you to watch this video next. But in order to clear out that block that really puts us in the way of between us and healthy love, we need to feel safe in the body alone without the need to be around people, without the need to put on a mask, right? Feeling abundant in the possibility of love being available to you at any moment that you awaken to it and you notice it, even in the way that the trees are shining and the sun feels beautiful and warm on your skin. To that level of subtleness, love is available to you if you can clear that block out. Now, the way that you want to clear that block out is to constantly connect into your body and to listen to your body and feel safe in whatever you're experiencing. Because up until now, you've been overriding that, right? The actual block has been created by this constant self-abandonment pattern in you, right? So as soon as you open it up and you start to look at it, see what comes out, and you're probably not going to like what comes out at the start. It might be uncomfortable. Widening your tolerance for uncomfortable emotions is really key, but opening it up is going to help you to release and heal what's been in there, and it will help you to widen your ability to receive healthy love. It's going to flow on into having higher standards in your relationship and higher standards for your friendships and who you date. And it's going to allow you to have stronger boundaries because you yourself have expanded and have become more grounded in what is right for you. So you will have more of awareness around what you need to protect. So in this video, I've shown you how to start creating a secure connection with yourself, but there is an entire 3-step process that I go through in my webinar, the proven 3 steps to creating a secure love, and I'd love for you to join me in that. You can join me in the link below. I also have a free Facebook group, and I would just love to meet you in there. You can join me in the link below as well. And if you want to submit an application for the one-to-one with me and my team for the Love by Design program, the calendar link is in the comments below, so just click on that, find a time, and I really look forward to speaking to you. If you have any questions about today's video, please post them in the comments below as well. I will be in there and will be very keen to hear from you. And click the like button on this video. Again, that will help my channel and this video out. And here are some next step videos for you to watch so that you can move one step closer to having a beautiful, incredible relationship with yourself and with a partner that you deserve. And for now, I'll see you in the next video.